This fish taco recipe is really simple. It's a Panko and Romano crusted fish taco. It's awesome, number one, because we use fresh fish from the Gulf. Number two, because we have a secret ingredient that we'll tell you about in a second. I've made this recipe using jack, flounder, redfish. Today we're using snook, which happens to be our favorite. We caught it fresh, filleted it, it's boneless, skinless, and it's ready to go. And I'm just gonna make some simple cuts. I like to keep the slices of fish pretty large, just so when we cook them, the fish doesn't lose any moisture. Our next step is we're gonna season the fish. I like to use just a little bit of seasoning because you don't want to overpower the fish, but you do want to add a little bit of flavor. So I use Jane's Crazy Mixed Up Seasoning, and then a little bit of pepper too, just to season the fish. So our next step, we're gonna throw the seasoned fish into a Ziploc bag with some all-purpose flour. Once I get all these fish into the bag, we're gonna zip it up, toss it around a little, make sure that each piece of fish is coated evenly. Just toss it around a little. While we're waiting for the flour to kind of set, I usually mix up the Panko mixture, which we're using Japanese style Panko plain flakes and Romano cheese. And the mixture that I do is 2/3 Panko and kind of 1/3 cheese. It depends on how much you want. I just kind of eye it out. It's really not a measurement. Toss that in there. Add a little bit of pepper. Not much, because again, we don't want to overpower the fish, but I just like a little extra seasoning. So we've scrambled up 2 eggs, and we're tossing the floured fish into the egg mixture, then into the Panko. After we get the Panko on the fish, I usually let it set for 5 to 10 minutes. Just because when we fry it, we don't want the flakes to come off. We want the crusting to stay on the fish, so it's best to just let it set for a little bit. So now it's time for our secret ingredient. It's Wickles Relish. It's like a jalapeno flavored relish. They also make pickles. It's kind of spicy, kind of sweet. It's really, really good. What we're gonna do is we start with a little bit of mayonnaise. I like the olive oil mayonnaise, just because it has a little bit of different flavor than regular mayonnaise. So there's not a specific measurement for this. I just squirt a little bit of mayonnaise. I prefer more Wickles than mayonnaise. Some people might prefer more mayonnaise than Wickles. I wanna add a little bit more. You can add more seasoning if you want. Lemon, lime, pepper, salt. I'll probably add a little bit of pepper. And I usually mix this before I start to cook the fish, just because if the fish is cooking, then it's gonna be warm when it's done, and we don't wanna let it get cold while we're making the relish. I'm just heating up some oil, so we're gonna throw the fish in and fry it up. You just want the Panko to turn golden brown like it is right now. It's probably a little crispier, but that's okay. So now we're ready to make the actual fish taco, and we use flour tortillas. I'm not entirely sure what the brand is. It's Verole or Whirlole, I'm not sure. This one's available in Publix. I find that these are the softest. The softer the better when it comes to these fish tacos. So it's kind of simple from here. You can either take the whole fillet and put it on the taco. I actually prefer to take the fillet and kind of break it up, since the fish is moist and it breaks apart pretty easy. Just break it apart on the taco on the flour tortilla. And then we get the Wickles, stir it up just a little bit, and then, like I said, you need very, very little. Since the fish has some good flavor, the Wickles adds a little extra. And then for me, I like a little bit of tomatoes on it, just to add some color and a little bit of extra flavor.